Imagine a world at war, brutal and relentless, where one side faced overwhelming odds but fought with fierce determination. What could possibly compel such a nation to finally lay down its arms, ending a conflict that reshaped global history? Japan's unconditional surrender in August 1945 was primarily driven by a convergence of overwhelming military pressures and internal political realities. This pivotal decision brought an end to the Second World War, a conflict that had engulfed much of the globe for years. The core mechanisms behind this surrender involved the devastating impact of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which showcased a terrifying new level of destructive power. Additionally, the Soviet Union's surprise entry into the war against Japan and its rapid invasion of Manchuria onto fronts critically undermined Japan's strategic position. These external pressures severely weakened the hardliner faction within Japan's leadership, creating an undeniable impetus for peace, especially after the Allies issued the Potsdam Declaration, demanding unconditional surrender and threatening utter destruction. The decision-making process was complex, unfolding within Japan's Supreme Council for the direction of the war, often referred to as the Big Six. Emperor Hirohito played a crucial role, ultimately breaking a deadlock among his advisors by directly advocating for surrender, believing it was the only way to preserve the Japanese people. His imperial rescript of surrender was then broadcast to the nation, an unprecedented act in Japanese history. A key internal detail was Japan's desperate concern for the preservation of the kokutai, or national essence, and the imperial institution, which they hoped to safeguard even in defeat. The Allies, particularly the United States, ultimately provided a subtle assurance that the emperor's status would remain subject to the will of the Japanese people, which helped clear a path for acceptance. Intercepted Japanese communications, known as magic intercepts, had previously informed Allied leaders that this was a major point of contention for Japan. Understanding these intertwined factors, from the awe-inspiring power of new weaponry to the intricate political struggles within Japan, allows us to grasp the profound historical moment that concluded the most devastating war in human history. It highlights how a combination of external force and internal compromise ultimately paved the way for peace, fundamentally altering the global landscape forever.